fight. It was just about witnessing, just sitting back and being like, wow, this guy's good. I mean, he treated this guy like a sparring. He beat him easy. I mean, and that is, that is something even I didn't expect.
But he wouldn't stop. Well, Floyd was boxing him up. Yeah. So Floyd is just piecing him up. So Floyd, I mean, even at 46, he's the greatest of all time. He caught Floyd a couple times with some little shots, but mostly he's just getting boxed up, right?
Let me go.
That notorious sparring session where Terence Crawford appeared to outshine Floyd Mayweather has lingered like a shadow over his legacy. It's the rare footage critics use as supposed evidence that even the unbeaten king had moments of weakness away from the spotlight. But what if that entire story was built on deception, not the sparring itself, but how it reached the public? According to boxing insider Paulie Malignaggi, the world might have been played. He claims the leak wasn't some random mishap. It was a calculated move. And the mastermind behind it all? None other than the very man the footage was meant to embarrass. That video has become part of boxing folklore. A young, fearless Terence Bud Crawford walking into the legendary Mayweather Boxing Club and going toe-to-toe with the unbeaten icon. In the clip, Crawford doesn't just survive. He seemed to outshine Mayweather, pushing the king onto the defensive.
Look at the scope of Crawford's career. He's made every world-class fighter look like easy work. It's really been something special to watch, to achieve. And he fights out of two stances.
He got everything it takes to beat Floyd. Floyd struggled in the first half against Zab Judah. Zab Judah, a damn terrific fighter, but he ain't no damn Terence Crawford, especially from the southpaw position. Floyd didn't like fighting southpaws. Floyd reached with that right hand. You think he's gonna reach against one of the best back foot counterpunchers in the game? He gonna reach with that right hand against Crawford? He gonna get slept reaching with that backhand the way he reaches with that. That level change backhand he throws too? Man, that pull jab he does too, that ain't gonna work. That is not gonna work. Floyd got a 72-inch reach. Yeah, he had quickness, fast reflexes. However, Crawford got all of that too. He got all of that too. And he got a 75-inch reach. Great counterpuncher. Can concentrate all night. Can put pressure on Floyd. He can even invite Floyd in. Yep, I noticed. Floyd's not having...
The footage is gritty and unfiltered. It shows Floyd Mayweather appearing unusually vulnerable, taking clean shots, and being forced backward by a younger, hungrier fighter inside his own stronghold, the legendary doghouse. When the clip first hit the public eye, it sent shockwaves through the boxing world. For many, it was the first visible crack in the image of invincibility that Mayweather had spent decades creating. Critics saw it as undeniable proof that even the undefeated champion could be touched. Crawford supporters, meanwhile, treated it as a clear sign that greatness was already written in his future. But for those who truly understand the culture of boxing gyms, the real mystery wasn't what happened in the ring. It was how the video ever saw the light of day. Because in boxing, there's an unspoken rule: what happens in the gym stays in the gym. That code isn't just about secrecy. It's about respect, honor, and protecting the grind behind closed doors.
Spar Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturdays. Some of them be hard. You can't replace soft sparring, a comparison to get ready for a fight. I can hit the bag, I can hit the miss, all that I want, but nothing's coming back. I'm not feeling that presence of a person pushing me, hitting me, holding me. When the fight comes and everything is full blast, full speed, I'm not going to be able to keep up because I didn't train that way. There got to be days where that fighter is trying to put it on you because you fight how you spar. You spar how you fight. Now you're getting used to that. Now your body is getting in shape. So sparring is very important.
Boxers need privacy to sharpen their skills, a place where they can experiment, take risks, and even fail without the world judging every move. Releasing sparring footage breaks that sacred trust completely. Now, imagine applying that rule to Floyd Mayweather's camp, one of the most tightly controlled operations in all sports. Floyd's gym isn't your average training spot. It's a fortress, run with the precision and discipline of a military base. Every move inside those walls is monitored and managed. Mayweather, a billionaire and a master of image control, has spent his entire career ensuring nothing leaks without his approval. So, the idea that someone could stroll and secretly record him getting tagged in sparring and walk out unnoticed? Impossible. Which leaves only one conclusion. The leak wasn't random. It was planned. And the real purpose behind it is far more strategic than anyone first believed.
A lot to unpack on an amazing performance by Terence Crawford. Wasn't the most exciting fight, but really it was about Bud Crawford. It was about what he accomplished tonight, and it was about, becoming the first undisputed world champion in the 4-belt era in 3 different ways.
This is where Paulie Malignaggi starts linking pieces no one else even noticed. A man who's lived a fight game from the inside out, Paulie immediately sensed something wasn't right the moment he saw that footage. Not just what was in it, but the way it suddenly appeared.
But in boxing, typically we see that the new guys never get the credit of the old guys. No matter what, any boxing fans, pundits, or even new boxing fans, they say, no, the old guys are the best, and these guys may be able to be in the conversation, but definitely not better than them. Dude, you got to make at least a conversation point to talk about Usyk and Crawford being GOAT status. I'm not telling you got to make them GOAT status, but bro, you know what? You gotta at least have that conversation. They've been that good, and we've gotten to witness them to be that good. And I think that's something amazing. I mean, from my end, to have seen them both do this and what I saw tonight do.
In boxing, there's always been this pattern. The new generation rarely gets the same respect as the old guard. No matter who steps up, fans and analysts cling to the legends of the past. You'll hear it every time. The old fighters were better. These new guys might be great, but they're not on that level. But honestly, at this point, names like Usyk and Crawford deserve to be in that greatest of all time discussion. I'm not saying you have to crown them as the GOATs, but come on, they've earned the right to be part of that conversation. We've had the privilege of watching them reach those heights in real time, and that's something special. From my perspective, witnessing both of them achieve what they have, especially what Crawford did tonight, it's nothing short of incredible. Paulie dropped a theory so explosive it flips the whole story upside down. In his view, that infamous sparring clip wasn't some accidental leak at all. It was planted, a calculated, strategic release set up by none other than the man who looked bad in it, Floyd Mayweather himself. Paulie argues the footage could only have reached the public if Floyd or someone within his tight inner circle allowed it. This wasn't a rogue recording. It was a controlled burn disguised as a wildfire. And if that's true, it transforms a clip from a simple sparring highlight into a masterclass in image control and media strategy. Think about Paulie's logic. Who in their right mind would dare cross Floyd Mayweather without permission?
I wanted Crawford to win.
Yeah.
That's who I wanted to win. So
Yeah.
everything is all good. Las Vegas, we do the same thing every time. You know what I'm saying?
How impressed were you by Terence last night?
I was very impressed. The combos, I loved it. You did what I'm saying? And bop, bop, bop. I said, hold on. And he went back, bop, bop. I said, okay, it's real. You feel me? Yeah, man.
What you want to see next?
Next, I want to see
1 second, bro. You see him?
Soldier Boy in the boxing ring.
Who do you think Terence should fight next time?
Put me in there.
No,
Do you think he's greater than Floyd, in your opinion?
Have a good one,
I
boss.
think that everybody got their own name. Everybody got their own shine.
Yeah.
Much love.
Thank you, bro.
This is a man whose entire empire runs on loyalty, and who has no hesitation cutting off anyone who crosses him, whether it's a sparring partner, a coach, or even a bodyguard. Leaking something like that would be professional suicide. They wouldn't just lose their job, they'd lose their reputation. Word would spread from Vegas to London, and their name would be untouchable in every gym. The risk is enormous, and there's absolutely no reward. That leaves only one logical possibility. The release had to come from the top. All signs point back to Floyd himself. But that raises a real mystery. Why on earth would a man with one of the biggest egos in sports purposely let the world see him look vulnerable?
He lost to a smaller guy. I feel that the organizations and the belt have been hostage for a very long, long time. Now, it's nice to see. To me, it was more like a Rocky movie, and you see that those belts are free. Now a lot of people are going to have more opportunities because I think that Terence Crawford does not have the power that Canelo had, and to do whatever like Canelo was doing, Crawford, I don't think he has that. So I think little by little they're going to take those belts away, or he has to defend them, and the task is going to be a little bit harder.
Yeah, because David mentioned that he felt that should have been him. Like, it should have been his moment when that fight happened in Vegas, and that he would have had the same result. Like, he would have beaten him.
Yeah, for sure. And that's the reason that Canelo was asking for $200 million, because he knew that it was a big risk. And at the end of the day, he lost to us.
The explanation isn't about what happened in the ring. It's about what happened outside of it. This was business, not boxing. A calculated move built on one golden rule: stay relevant. When that footage started blowing up online, Floyd was already enjoying retirement, while Terence Crawford was climbing fast toward the top of every pound-for-pound ranking.
Terence Crawford has had an amazing career against a lot of very good fighters and world-class fighters, and honestly has barely lost a round. When you look back at Bud Crawford's career, there is something really special. It's one of those things now, because now I've now seen back-to-back generations of Floyd Mayweather and Bud Crawford, and man, it's one of those things where now I understand why the people that lived in the Ray Leonard era say, wish we could see Ray Leonard against Mayweather, and how that would be. Because it just leaves such an empty feeling when you have such special fighters that were in different generations, and you saw both of them. I saw the entirety of the Mayweather generation. I saw the entirety of the Bud Crawford generation. Just incredible. First, Crawford really boxed very, very well, very, very intelligently. The question mark was what happens when Crawford gets hit cleanly. I'm not sure he got hit cleanly at the whole fight. He got hit with some partial shots. Some shots landed cleanly, but by the time Canelo started landing anything cleanly, I think he was hesitant because he was getting countered so much that he was taking some of the steam off the shots in order to hope to be more accurate. Because even late in the fight, there were a couple of shots that Canelo landed, but they barely moved Crawford. There were some good body shots Canelo was throwing, but Crawford started countering those very, very well. I think the key point started coming once after the first round. Crawford shifted a lot and moved a lot. I wanted to just kind of see where Canelo's power was at. He caught a couple of shots on the gloves, and I think there came a point in the first 1 or 2 rounds where Crawford said, this guy's not as strong as I thought, because he started seeing Crawford hold his ground more and more. And he started seeing Crawford, doing a lot of catching and shooting. And in order to do a lot of catching and shooting, you got to be willing to take the shot, even if you're going to block it. If a guy's a big, big puncher, even blocking it can be uncomfortable. And Crawford started getting comfortable catching and shooting sharp shots. Crawford never loaded up, but he was sharp the whole night. Sharp with the jab, sharp with the counters, some well-placed body shots as well. Canelo landed here and there. I thought Canelo got really frustrated. I felt that headbutt was a little bit more than accidental, to tell you the truth. When he cut Crawford, I thought that was a little bit more of.
By allowing a clip to surface that showed him appearing vulnerable against a new rising star, Floyd brilliantly linked his name to Crawford's. It was a calculated move, a way to stay part of the conversation, even without lacing up the gloves. Interview 11, almost overnight. Every discussion about Crawford's dominance had to circle back to Mayweather. It was a masterstroke, keeping Floyd's name alive in every headline, every debate, every highlight reel. He wasn't just a retired icon anymore. He became the standard Crawford was measured against. In a calculated twist, Floyd managed to win by appearing to lose, trading a bit of pride for long-term power and relevance in the sports narrative.
A lot of hate, but for me, he's a tremendous, tremendous fighter. And Terence Bud Crawford is in that realm as well. And
this move has Floyd Mayweather written all over it. Another masterclass from one of boxing's most brilliant self-promoters. Throughout his career, Floyd's biggest victories weren't just in the ring. They were in the art control. He built an empire by scripting every headline, manufacturing drama, and turning even hate into profit. The money persona wasn't just a nickname. It was a marketing revolution. He understood long before anyone else that in today's world, controversy sells and silence kills relevance. So, when that sparring footage leaked, it wasn't chaos. It was choreography, a calculated, elegant maneuver disguised as vulnerability. It looked like an accident, but it was a checkmate. By allowing the world to see him struggle, Floyd once again positioned himself at the center of boxing's narrative. The ripple effect was huge. Crawford's moment of dominance, instead of standing alone, became another chapter in Mayweather's story. It reframed the entire event. Was Crawford proving greatness, or simply acting in Floyd's grand production? That's the power of Mayweather's influence. Even in retirement, he remains the axis the sport spins around. This single clip sums up his entire legacy, a fusion of genius marketing, supreme skill, and psychological warfare. When you see that footage resurface online, remember, it's not just sparring, it's strategy. It's a man controlling his myth, one move at a time. Paulie Malignaggi didn't just uncover a leak. He exposed the layers of manipulation behind it. Floyd's genius lies not just in his defense inside the ropes, but in his ability to play the long game outside of them. So now, the question isn't who won the sparring match. It's who's been playing the real game all along. What do you think? Was this a stroke of promotional brilliance from Floyd, or a rare glimpse of the king being truly tested? Drop your thoughts below. And if you enjoyed the breakdown, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you never miss what's next. Stay tuned. We'll see you in the next one.